Hello, Grayest Fox here. Welcome to another edition of the Tour of My Computers. Today we're going to be looking at the Mac family of computers I have and all of the accessories for them that I have, and I'm going to front load it with the most interesting information for your sake. Hope you enjoy. And by front loading, I mean I'm going to show you the only Mac that I have that currently works. This is my Power Mac G4. This is not the same Power Mac G4 I have that I did my Red Faction speed run on, or the one that I got running first. This is the one that I got recently when I bought this Apple display from a local seller on eBay. Picked it up and he said to me, "Hey, are you a collector?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, kinda. I like Macs." And he gave me a Power Mac G4 and a Power Mac G3, both of them not working at the when he gave them to me. He gave them to me for free, so that was awesome. So this is the Power Mac G4 I got from him, and the only reason that I bought it, or that I got this one running, is because of that pretty little zip drive. This Power Mac G4 has a zip drive, whereas the one that I had before, the one that was working before, did not. The setup on this is a little bit different, and I'll just give you a tour of what it looks like. Oh, that sounds good. Hopefully this just comes up. Yep, there it goes. It woke up. Again, this is a computer from 1999 about, so that explains why it takes a while to start up. That was normal back then. And yep, I got Mac OS 9.2 on it. You can see this monitor is really good for the time. This is one of the monitors that was available back when the Power Mac G4 was new. And I had been looking for a while to find one of the period-appropriate monitors for this Power Mac G4. And I just got lucky, found one in the city that I work in, and got really lucky because he gave me this and a Power Mac G4 as well. Oh, excuse me, a Power Mac G3 as well. So here we are. Yeah, it's got some kind of thing going on here. You know, it's 25 years old about, so you would expect it to have some problems. But here is, look at that pretty font even. You can hear the Mac sounds. If I were using this as a daily driver, I would probably turn those sounds off, but I find it charming as is. So my hard drive, that's the, like, my computer kind of thing from the PC equivalent. That is the correct time, though I did have to change it because it wouldn't go for like daylight savings time or whatever. Internet, it can go on the internet, but I don't. Mail, QuickTime Player, Red Faction, Register, Sherlock 2. Sherlock 2 is kind of like search for your computer. It'll show you all the different things that are on your computer. Airport Setup Assistant, and Trash. Trash is the recycle bin. So yeah, this monitor is very nice. Here's the mouse that I'm still using. The Pro mouse. It's optical. And you click it using the whole shell. So, yep, you can click it all the way from back here, though it is difficult. So, here is the keyboard that I'm using. I'm not sure if this would have been the keyboard available with a Power Mac G4. This is, I think, in fact, let's look what this thing is called. It is called the Pro keyboard. And I like this a lot more than the keyboard I originally had because it has a full arrow key setup. It has F keys that go all the way up to F15. It has the eject button, which does work. In fact, let me show you. Let's see it. Yep, there it goes. Pretty cool. It has sound controls also, which the original keyboard I had did not. Oh, another thing that I got from the guy that I got the display from, and the Power Mac G3 and an extra Power Mac G4 from, is an Apple Airport. This is basically a Wi-Fi router for Apple's Power Mac G4s back in the day. Let's get a good airport base station. And there you have, all the way on the right is a phone jack. Middle is the power. I just happened to have it. This came without the power adapter, but I had one that fit and works, right amperage and all that, and Ethernet. Now, I have the airport setup assistant on there, but I don't have an Apple airport card in this G4, so I can't actually use this, but it is a cool thing. I think I paid $5 for it, so that's why I picked it up. It was cheap, and it's just a cool little accessory display thing kind of thing. I did YouTube shorts of this, but I have never used a zip drive before having this. So here's what it looks like. Just like a floppy as far as putting it in. And it's very quiet. That click was it showing up on the computer there, Zip 100. But yes, they are very, very quiet drives, much quieter than floppy drives. I thought that it would have more noise to it, but it does not. You'll have to tell me in the comments, but in my experience, I went straight from floppy disks for school to CDs, burned CDs. I never had an in-between. I do remember 10th grade, I did a report on, or PowerPoint on World War II, and I just split it onto 2 floppies because it was too big. But after that, 11th, 12th grade, etc., you had CDs, and then if you were wealthy enough, if you could get a DVD writer, you had DVDs that you could write to. And then USB drives were around in my senior year of high school. I remember having it because someone in my homeroom commented, because I had it on my keychain, and he says, "Do you really think that works for you?" Or, he was kidding, he wasn't being a jerk about it, but he was like, "Oh, you're going with that look, okay." Just making conversation. There's Pantera, by the way. Okay, so I will show you that this works. Let me drag it. Open it up. 94 megs available. Must have something on there that I can't see that is keeping it from being the full 100. That's pretty normal, though. All right, so I've done this before, but I'm going to take this file from Red Faction. It is a map file, and it is 73 megabytes. Oh, come on. And drag it over. And there it is. It did take a couple minutes. I didn't feel like holding the phone in front of the screen for that long. But yeah, it has a 74 meg file on there. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but you got to think, floppy drives could only take 1.4 megs. So currently what's on there is like about 70 times more than could fit, less than that, but you get the idea. Zips, they weren't fast, and they didn't have anything to do with the idea of zipping a file and making it smaller, which is something we still do. I don't know where the name zip came from, but it wasn't from the file format kind of thing. But yeah, that's what they were. They could hold an awful lot more data. But CD drives, DVD drives, CD writers that is, and DVD writers got much cheaper very quickly to the point where these kinds of formats just didn't make sense anymore, where you could just put it on a CD. Blank CDs got cheaper also, and blank DVDs also. So this, as I've said in the past on different videos, it was a bit of a flash in the pan technology. It wasn't really helpful for a long time. And I really wish that Apple had gone with putting floppies in these instead of zip drives. But they just, you know, bet wrong, and so we have zip drives in these. But it is kind of interesting to take a look at them. Now let me put it in the trash. There we go. All right. Let me hit. To right click on these, you hit Control and click. And it gives you this. Yep, and now we're back to 94. And I did a short of this also, but there's no button here. There's no way to eject this physically. If I took the face shield off, I think that there's like a small pinhole somewhere to force it to eject. But what you do is, or maybe I have to close it first. Now let's try eject. There we go. And there it is. And let's take a look at this monitor. So it has capacitive or touch buttons. These are not, you know, hard buttons. And so there's power and brightness. So if you click on this, I think it actually brings up, yeah, it brings up the Apple Studio Display thing. The resolution is 1280 by 1024, which is pretty good for back then. It is still in 4:3 format. I think that's 3:4, and millions of colors. So yeah, it is a good display. And let me show you what it looks like on the back. I guess these are, you know, just vents for heat. It's got a stand. It's like a tripod kind of thing. Has USB in the back, which plugs into the computer right there. Now, this has a bit of a ridiculously big power supply / adapter here. So this is a DVI to ADC adapter because this monitor is expecting ADC, but it's coming out DVI. So this is DVI, turns it into ADC, so this can read it. And also it is the power brick. Pretty big. But the cords here are really nice and thick. They didn't cheap out on that. So we've looked at what zip drives look like on this. Now let's look at floppies. So yeah, this did not come with an internal floppy drive, but I bought this. Macally is a company which, they might still be around, but they made accessories for Macs. They made some mice, they made keyboards, and they made this external USB drive, external floppy drive. So let's plug it in to the monitor. And there it is. It just says untitled for now. Okay, so we have 1.3 megs available on this floppy. So I'm going to move over this file from Red Faction, which is 1.2 megs, and we'll hear how it sounds. And there it is. It went a lot faster than the zip drive, but of course it was a much smaller file, and it shows we only have 153K left. That floppy drive is actually a lot quieter than I expected. It might be because it's modern. You always see the old floppy drives in like other YouTubers' videos. When you start up old PCs, they go but no, this is very quiet. You might have been able to hear it. I'll try to turn up the volume there of it. You know, it's like when it's writing the material, but yeah, not very loud. Oh, it's mad at me for clicking it out. But yeah, That's what floppy drive. So I remember these. Do you? And now, just to show you how this monitor works, how this computer works, I am going to boot up Red Faction. If you haven't seen any of my other Mac Red Faction videos, this is the disk. It's almost like a key, but it also has cutscenes on it. But the game itself is on the hard drive. So it should show up on the desktop pretty quickly. Or prove me wrong. What? Okay, I restarted a couple times, cleaned the disks, and yeah, it just won't read Red Faction for some reason. So, I don't know, maybe the drive is borked. Let's try Oregon Trail instead, see if it can read that. It's not even sounding like it's spinning up, so it could be a physical problem with the drive. Yep, looks like there's a physical problem with the drive. There it is. It's not in there though. It is in my external DVD drive, which works apparently on a Mac. Try to show off this screen. Millions of colors, 1024 by 768. Don't use compressed textures. Yep, everything's up. Doesn't look as good as it could on a modern PC, but it looks pretty good. Do I have any save files I can use? I do not. Okay.
Mars.
Second work shift has ended. Miners return to barracks.
Turn down the volume a bit.
Come on, partner. Shift's over.
Yeah, getting some hitching, but...
Think you're going? Leave me alone, jerk. It's been a long day. It's about to get a little longer, mind scum. Just let me go, or else. You threatening me? Yeah, well, threaten this.
And the revolution kicks off. Oh, so yeah, what does this have on it about this computer? So, yep, we're running Mac OS 9.22. Built-in memory is 1 gig. It used to be 1.5 gigs on my old Mac G4 setup, but I was getting really weird crashes. And mostly superstition, I guessed that it was possibly because of the two 512 megabyte RAM sticks in there. So this computer now has 4 256 meg sticks of RAM in it. It also has, let's see, will it show me? Yes, a 40 gig hard drive on it, 35 gigs available. I didn't know this, but I've seen it on other Macs too. Macs used to come with Microsoft Internet Explorer, which is just weird to think of because if you think Mac, you think Safari when it comes to internet browsers. But here we are on FrogFind.com. This is a specially built website by, as you can see, Action Retro, a fun YouTuber from around the same area as I am. And the logo there made by Mac84. And this allows you to go to certain sites on the modern internet that you would not be able to get to otherwise, because these old browsers don't support HTTPS. And you need the S at the end to be able to go to modern sites. But this works a bit like Google. You see all those search or results. Yeah, search results. And so let's click on Apple. Oh, look, we can get the iPhone 17 Pro, all out Pro. The iPhone Air, the thinnest iPhone ever. I'll put a link in the description to a video about FrogFind by Action Retro. He built it to make it so you could go on modern websites, but of course there's no pictures, there's no video. You can't go on YouTube. I tried. Can't go on Amazon. I tried. But it's cool to be able to go on the modern internet, because if you try without this, you see it's we used to have proxy websites like this for getting around like firewalls and stuff. But let's see. Let me type up here. I don't know if this will work. Let's try www.google. Back in the day, it didn't autofill www. Before. Yeah, see? Won't work. But on FrogFind, it will. So, yeah, let's try going to Google. Just... there it is. Yep. Can't really do anything on it, but you can go there. And next we have the Power Mac G3. And as I said, the Power Mac G4 I've already shown is the only Mac I have that currently works. Oh, yeah, this doesn't even have drives in it at the moment. But yeah, this is really nice looking. I like how the G3 looks. You can see the G3 on the side there. And, well, let's see if it makes the same sound as a G4. Nope, nothing. And yeah, I only have this plugged in to show it doesn't work. So, as you can see, I have the VGA in there, and the VGA in there, and the computer's on, but no signal. Power cycle. This. There we go. And yep, nothing. I hope / think that the problem there is this monitor is looking for new VGA, which puts 5 volts on one of the pins, whereas this the card that's in this G3 might be putting out old VGA, which does not have 5 volts on one of the pins. In fact, that pin would be missing. So it doesn't work yet. But let me show you what's inside. Just like the G4, it has this cool little latch. And there's the processor. I did have to get that. I don't remember how fast it is. Doesn't matter, because it doesn't work anyway at the moment. And it has one stick of 128 meg RAM from Memory Masters. And here is the graphics card in there. ATI Rage 128. It is a PCI slot, you see there, not AGP. And it also has these pins to connect it to, I think it connects to another graphics card, which can be plugged into a television. It has a yellow RCA video out thing. So, yep, I mean, it's plugged into the motherboard there. I put in a new CMOS battery, PRAM battery. It doesn't have any drives in it at the moment, not even anything there. There's the power supply, but yeah, whatever's going on right now, I can't figure it out. And because these Macs, the G3 and the G4, don't have any onboard graphics. So you see, we have Firewire, Apple Desktop Bus or whatever it's called, but that's for older style mouses and keyboards, Ethernet, phone, 2 USB, and microphone and speaker. And just like the G4, this is plugged into the power supply, and the power supply can also do the monitor. And there's the card that's unfortunately not working yet. I did get one of these, hoping that maybe if the issue is that it needs power on that one pin that it doesn't have power on, that this will work. So it takes VGA, outputs to RCA, and I plugged it into a television, but again, still nothing. It does require power too, and of course I did power it up, but that didn't work. This computer could run Red Faction slower than a G4, but I would like to get it up and running. It's just, it's a little frustrating not knowing what the problem is and not being able to see anything on a computer screen to try to fix the problem. So it's in limbo at the moment, but it does have a processor and it does have a card. Maybe the card's not good. I don't know. I'll update you in the future if anything changes on that. And finally, we have the PowerMac G4 that I originally got for $76 from eBay. Does it have drives in it? It does. This is a DVD RAM drive, which I'll have to put in the clip of how it opens, but it takes caddies, you can't just put a disc in it. You have to have a caddy. I don't have any caddies yet, but I do want to pick one up just if I ever do sell this one on. I switched this out actually because if you noticed in the PowerMac G4 that I do have running, I have a regular DVD-ROM drive that does, takes discs instead of needing caddies. But apparently that one doesn't work. Maybe I'll end up using this. We'll see in the future. Here is the hard drive that was in here. It's obviously not plugged into anything at the moment. 10 gig Western Digital. And let's open this up. Oh, this one, yeah, I forgot. Sticky. And it's blank. There's nothing in here. No RAM. I do have 2 sticks of 512 still. The PRAM battery, not in there. No graphics card and no processor. So yeah, this is just in hold for now. I'd rather get the G3 running before this, but I could get a processor for this, RAM for this. The graphics card for this is not too terribly expensive from what I've been seeing, but it still is an extra expense when I already have a G4 that works. So, yep. And, doesn't have any secondary drive. It's just that DVD RAM drive. And yeah, it is RAM. I don't really understand why it's random access memory instead of read-only memory, but it really is. Let me show you. DVD RAM. It's weird, but it is. That's what came with it. So I hope you enjoyed that look at all the different Mac things I have, the 3 Power Macs I have. Only one of them works at the moment. I would like to get at least the PowerMac G3 up and running. So if I do, you'll come along for the ride. It's just I have had a lot of expenses come up recently. I had to get new tires, new brakes on my car. My truck needs new tires. And other things coming along. And I'm doing okay, but it's at a point right now where I don't want to spend money frivolously. Need to rebuild the coffers, so to speak. So that's why the G3 is not working, the G4 is not working. I haven't put in the time and money to try different things to get them working. But it's fun to have that PowerMac G4 that does work. It's nice to have it to be able to play Red Faction and all those other classic games that I've already streamed and put videos of. I love having it for that because I don't have an old PC for those, so it's nice to have that Mac to be able to play those old games. And it's interesting to experience a zip drive for the first time. Like I said, I never had tried one before, but so I've shown you my laptops in an earlier video. Those were my Macs, and the only thing left is my gaming desktop. And that'll be kind of a wild view because it's a bit of a Frankenstein. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.